49ers faithful. Today, we have some major updates to discuss regarding the San Francisco 49ers. And it's a mix of concern, strategy, and opportunity all wrapped into one. Let's start with the most pressing issue on the minds of fans everywhere: injuries. The team has been navigating an incredibly challenging stretch, and the latest setback involves Michael Williams. In the dying minutes of a recent game, Williams went down while trying to chase Jackson Dart, and the MetLife turf betrayed him once again. He planted his right leg, and his knee twisted the wrong way immediately, causing an instant reaction of pain. He tried to continue, attempting a tackle around Dart's ankles, but it was clear something was seriously wrong. Despite walking off the field under his own power and making it into the tunnel and locker room, the signs were unmistakable. Kyle Shanahan's post-game comments confirmed the fears, stating that the team is concerned it is an ACL injury. When a coach makes a statement like that after consulting with the medical staff, the odds are overwhelmingly against a minor issue. For the 49ers, this means missing a pivotal defensive player for an extended period, potentially the entire season and off-season activities. Michael Williams, despite being a young talent at 21, has proven his impact on the 49ers' defensive front. Some critics may glance at statistics and label him as an underperformer based on box scores, but anyone who follows the team closely knows that he contributed significantly to the team's defensive identity. Trent Williams even highlighted his importance after a game, emphasizing that Williams is a crucial piece in the defensive puzzle. His absence is a tough blow, not just for depth, but for the development of a promising pass rusher. Williams had the potential to grow into a key player, refining his moves and explosiveness, but the injury stalls this growth. The typical 9 to 12-month recovery for an ACL tear, potentially combined with meniscus involvement, means he will miss the organized team activities, mini-camps, training camp, and likely the start of the next season. For a player who relies on power and positioning rather than pure twitch or speed, missing these reps is a significant developmental setback. Despite these setbacks, Williams' contribution to the run defense cannot be overstated. The 49ers transformed from one of the weaker run-stopping teams in the league to a top 10 unit, and Williams was integral to that improvement. His positional versatility allowed him to move between defensive end and tackle, providing pressure on the quarterback while maintaining a strong edge against the run. The physical presence he offered on the line cannot easily be replaced, particularly now that the team is already dealing with multiple defensive end injuries. Nick Bosa is out for the season. Williams joins him on the injured reserve list, and Euros Matos has been sidelined for several games. Other players like Bryce Huff may return for critical matchups, but overall, the 49ers' defensive line faces a thin roster in these pivotal weeks. This season has been marred by injuries across key positions, creating constant challenges for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. The 49ers have seen starters like Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Ricky Pierce, and Fred Warner miss significant time. The cumulative effect of these absences has forced the team to rely on next-man-up strategies repeatedly. However, this also opens discussions about the root causes of the recurring injuries, which have been a trend for nearly a decade. Analysts often point to the strength and conditioning protocols, stretching routines, and recovery methods, but it's possible that other factors contribute to the team's injury history. The pattern is undeniable. High-profile players missing games consistently impact performance and team chemistry, challenging the coaching staff to adapt on the fly. In the midst of this adversity, the 49ers are exploring options to reinforce the roster, particularly in the pass rush department. Reports suggest the team has been actively inquiring about edge rushers, including players like Jermaine Johnson and Bradley Chubb. Johnson, at 26, offers a combination of youth and familiarity with defensive schemes similar to what the 49ers employ. His experience playing under Robert Saleh with the Jets provides confidence in his ability to adapt quickly. Johnson is athletic, versatile, and can contribute against both the run and pass, offering immediate help to a depleted defensive end rotation. The Niners are weighing trades that could secure him without mortgaging too much of the future draft capital, potentially landing him for a mid-round pick. Bradley Chubb, though older at 29, also presents a compelling option. His career includes multiple Pro Bowl appearances and significant pass rushing accomplishments, though he carries a history of injuries. Recent performance indicates that he remains effective when healthy, adding pressure on quarterbacks and bolstering the defensive front. With the NFC West wide open and the team currently sitting at 6 wins and 3 losses, the window to make a playoff push is real, but depth and durability are crucial. Adding a player like Chubb or Johnson could provide both experience and immediate impact, shoring up a defense that has been hampered by key losses. The search for reinforcement is not limited to these names. Other options, like Trey Hendrickson and Kayvon Thibodeau, have been discussed, each bringing unique skill sets and potential fits within the scheme. The challenge is balancing the team's present needs with future planning, especially in a season where injuries have forced constant improvisation. The 49ers brass must make calculated decisions, understanding that the team's aspirations in the NFC are still within reach if they can stay competitive in these next critical matchups. Even beyond player transactions, the team's resilience is being tested week after week. Every missed practice, every altered rotation, and every adaptation on game day reflects the coaching staff's ability to manage adversity. San Francisco has faced challenges in previous seasons, but the intensity of injuries this year is testing the depth and mental toughness of the roster. Players stepping up in place of injured starters are gaining experience, but the pressure on the coaching staff and remaining veterans is immense. How the team navigates the next phase of the season could define their postseason trajectory, and the decisions made in the coming weeks will have ripple effects into the next offseason, particularly for young players like Michael Williams, whose development has been temporarily paused. Meanwhile, the urgency to strengthen the pass rush remains a top priority. The Niners' interest in players like Jermaine Johnson, a young yet experienced defensive end who can immediately impact games, reflects the strategy to combine youth with proven production. Johnson's ability to rush the quarterback and defend against the run makes him a high-value target in a market where edge rushers are scarce. The 49ers are positioning themselves to address this vulnerability while maintaining flexibility for future roster management. Similarly, exploring trade options for veterans like Bradley Chubb offers a short-term solution for the pass-rushing deficit, providing leadership and skill to a line stretched thin by injuries. This season has tested the 49ers' depth, adaptability, and strategic foresight. The combination of key injuries, potential trades, and the need to continue competing at a high level makes for a tense but intriguing period in San Francisco football. Each decision, from recovery management to acquiring new talent, carries weight in determining the team's immediate and long-term prospects. Fans watching closely will notice how these elements intersect, shaping the Niners' ability to remain contenders despite the challenges that have defined the season so far. As the season progresses, the urgency for the 49ers to stabilize their defensive line becomes increasingly apparent. With multiple starters sidelined, including Nick Bosa and Michael Williams, every game presents a new test of endurance and strategy. The defensive front, once considered one of the league's most dominant, has been forced into a series of adjustments, relying heavily on backups and rotational players to maintain effectiveness. Bryce Huff's potential return against the Rams offers a glimmer of hope, but even that remains uncertain and other options are limited. The team's depth at defensive end has been tested like never before, making the search for reinforcements not just a tactical move, but a necessity for sustaining competitiveness in the NFC West. The ripple effects of these injuries extend far beyond the defensive line. Opposing teams recognize the vulnerability and are likely to adjust their game plans to exploit it. This places additional pressure on San Francisco's linebackers and secondary, who must compensate for the reduced pass rush and altered run defense. The coaching staff is tasked with constantly recalibrating schemes, managing snap counts, and keeping players healthy enough to contribute. Every decision has consequences, from in-game substitutions to long-term player development. In particular, the absence of Michael Williams is significant because his presence not only influenced matchups, but also served as a catalyst for younger players to grow in live-game situations. Without those opportunities, the pace of development for emerging talent slows, forcing the team to find alternative ways to nurture growth while remaining competitive. Enter the trade discussions. The Niners' pursuit of edge rushers like Jermaine Johnson and Bradley Chubb illustrates a proactive approach to shoring up their front line. Johnson's blend of youth, size, and versatility makes him a compelling option. At 6'5" and 262 pounds, he possesses the length and power to collapse the pocket effectively while maintaining the ability to defend against the run. His experience under Robert Saleh with the Jets suggests he can integrate into San Francisco's defensive scheme without an extended adjustment period, an important consideration given the limited time to prepare before key matchups. A mid-round draft pick could secure his services, offering an immediate impact without severely compromising the team's future draft flexibility. Bradley Chubb, while older and carrying a history of injuries, brings a wealth of experience and proven production. A former first-round pick and multiple-time Pro Bowler, Chubb has demonstrated the ability to pressure quarterbacks, disrupt offensive lines, and contribute in both passing and running situations. His career has had ups and downs due to injuries, but his recent form indicates that he can still provide a meaningful boost to a depleted defensive front. Acquiring Chubb could deliver leadership and veteran presence alongside remaining starters, helping stabilize the defense and provide guidance to younger players thrust into prominent roles due to injury. Beyond individual talent, the challenge lies in maintaining cohesion under duress. The defensive line is a unit that thrives on synergy, communication, and trust. Repeated changes due to injury disrupt this rhythm, forcing both the coaching staff and players to adapt quickly. Young players like Williams were poised to gain critical in-game experience, learning how to read offenses, set the edge, and refine their pass-rushing techniques. With his absence, the team must find alternative ways to develop these skills among backups while simultaneously addressing immediate competitive needs. This balancing act underscores the complexity of managing a football roster at a championship contending level, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC West. The NFC West itself presents another layer of intensity, with teams like the Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals actively competing for playoff positions. Every game is a high-stakes contest. For the 49ers, maintaining momentum despite injuries is paramount. Each matchup becomes a test of depth, preparation, and adaptability. The team must integrate new additions, whether through trades or promotions from the practice squad, while ensuring that starters remain healthy enough to carry the team through critical stretches. This delicate equilibrium between immediate performance and long-term player development is central to the decisions being made by Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, and it will influence the team's trajectory well into the postseason. Another consideration is the psychological impact of these injuries. Players witnessing teammates go down week after week must navigate the emotional toll of uncertainty, both for themselves and the team's overall performance. Leaders like Nick Bosa, when available, and other veterans must provide stability and encouragement, ensuring that morale remains high despite setbacks. This mental resilience, coupled with strategic roster management, can be the difference between a playoff-caliber team and one derailed by adversity. Every practice, meeting, and game moment carries weight in shaping the team's identity under these challenging circumstances. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling around the Bay Area after reports emerged that veteran guard Kevin Zeitler has been announced as the newest addition to the San Francisco 49ers. While the team has yet to release full contract details, insiders suggest this could be one of the most underrated moves of the season, a classic late-year power play from a franchise known for fine-tuning its roster at just the right moment. Zeitler, 34, brings over a decade of NFL experience, having carved out a reputation as one of the league's most technically sound and durable interior linemen. His arrival in Santa Clara immediately shifts the tone of the 49ers' offensive line conversation. For months, the team has faced scrutiny over pass protection inconsistencies and interior pressure allowed against elite defenses. Zeitler's addition could be the stabilizing force that unlocks the offense's full potential, particularly for star quarterback Brock Purdy and the dynamic ground attack led by Christian McCaffrey. Word around league circles is that Zeitler had been on San Francisco's radar since training camp, but talks only gained traction in recent weeks as injuries and fatigue began to test the depth chart. Sources close to the situation describe mutual interest. Zeitler wanted a legitimate shot at a Super Bowl ring, and the 49ers needed a battle-tested veteran to shore up the trenches. The match seems almost too perfect. Coaches are reportedly thrilled about his leadership and work ethic, traits that have defined his career across stints with the Bengals, Browns, Giants, and most recently, the Ravens. He's a professional's professional. One unnamed 49er staffer was overheard saying, "You can plug him in tomorrow, and he'll know what to do." While nothing is official until he suits up, fans are already buzzing on social media, envisioning Zeitler anchoring the right guard spot alongside Trent Williams and the rest of the unit. If the move pays off as expected, this quiet signing could have loud consequences, the kind that echo all the way to February. In a league where chemistry and experience often make the difference between contenders and pretenders, Kevin Zeitler's arrival might just be the missing piece for a San Francisco team that's already built to win now. The rumor mill may be loud, but in this case, it might be onto something real. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.